Yeah, but at the start we hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Arydia, the Paths We Dare Tread. If you missed this afternoon's episode, some stuff happened. We finally decided to just say screw it and pass the day. We went to a new day phase, or a new day. It was a long time coming. We got ourselves a full heal. We mostly repaired our armor, and then we moved on. Then we went and found the old one-eyed beggar that we'd been continuously using to cycle a K back and forth. Like we'd give him a K, which would give us the blessing in our travel deck, and then when we got to that card in the travel deck, we'd use it to gain a K back. So it was just kind of like it was just an infinite loop. But then we learned that the old beggar was also the one-eyed man who was trying to lead the kobolds, and at one point the goblins, but that didn't last very long. Trying to lead the kobolds in some sort of rebellion or fight or something. We never were clear on that. We became clear on it very quickly. The guy just laid out his whole plan. He's like, "Hey, it turns out society sucks, and best intentions aren't fixing it. So let's revolt." Twitch Zertle said, hey gang, it's not that bad, is it? And Rick said, yes, Zertle, it is that bad. Then they had a little discussion, and it seemed as though Zertle was going to sway Rick's, and then he's like, he made a critical error in his judgment call. He's like, yeah, you just gotta learn how to trust people. Like, I'm sure the leaders of society will eventually get better, right? And that's where he lost Rix, and Rix was like, nope, they won't. And then she basically restrained him and allowed Mr. One-Eyed Revolutionary to go with his Kobold army. So now we have that to deal with. We have the very trusting Zertle, who was just betrayed by his companion of these last several moons. We'll have to see what the fallout of that is, role-playing wise. It was honestly a really, really good session. If you missed it, I highly recommend checking it out. I don't know that I recommend checking out every single video I've ever done on Arydia. Last session was like, chef kiss. It was great. I do recommend that one highly. That said, we have moved on. We are now in this place. Marn Way, apparently. And while we are here, we're going to investigate Long 20 to see if this is where I need to go to get the giant pine nuts. Long 20. I long for the 20th tile. Long 20. Also, we don't currently have a side job, which is why this looks weird right here. Forest path. You've discovered a hidden path leading south. The scent of flowers permeates the air, though you can't see anything but evergreen trees. The path ahead dips and turns east out of view. Uh-huh. Go on. Median 24. Forest garden. You see a small hut obscured by the close pressing foliage. Out front is a beautiful flower garden with a lush pool beside it. It looks well tended. Standing nearby is a fae who you assume must be the gardener. Okay. All right. NPC 204. That's a high number. Illis, the gardener. She's a fey woman. She is serene and she hums softly. A young fay tends a small garden of flowers in the middle of nowhere. Hello, travelers. Welcome to my garden. The flowers have many useful properties, and I'd be happy to show you what I have for purchase. Tell us more about this garden and these flowers. Please tread carefully. These are flowers from the homeland of the Fae, which was lost long ago. Okay. Tell us more. Long ago, we Fae were separated from our homeland. One day we will find it again and return home. I tend these flowers and wait for that day. What do you have for purchase? I apologize for the expense of these flowers. Would that I could give them away. However, I need the K for the fertilizer and purchasing new seeds. So for 24k, Healing Nectar. This extracts boosts healing potions or skills. Gain key item 174. Interested? I can't afford it, but interested. For 33k, Lotus Petals, a symbol of rebirth. If you should fall, the power of the Lotus will bring you back from the brink. Gain key item 165. Okay, that absolutely sounds great. That sounds like a free revive. Okay, alright. Yikes. We can't afford either of those. But I'm going to note them in my little journal. Okay. Yeah. I guess bye, because I have nothing else to talk to you about. But dang. I wish I could buy those things right now. We leave. That is not where the giant pine nuts are. When they said there was a secret path through the forest, I was hopeful, but that is apparently not to be. Well, we'll go back to our world map, which was beautifully framed before, and then I had to move it. Yeah. Let's go on this forest path into Stillwater Thicket. Small crowd. Far away, you see a crowd gathered by the side of the road. Discard this and draw again. The journey is difficult, and your spirits sag. Oh, it's the one thing we don't have right now? Boo. Boo that game. Alright, we both lose a speed. It's fine. We go here, where there's a point of interest. Not a location, a point of interest. 133. $133. There it is. Near the Stillwater. The road disappears eastward into a dense thicket of brambles. It looks overgrown, but you could try to cut your way through. Beyond the brambles, a fog hangs low over dark trees. Just south, you see the river flowing by. Let's look at the fog for a second. A low fog hangs over the fetid swamp. You can smell it from here. The tips of rotting trees push through the mist like hands out of a graveyard. And the river? The deep blue water flows westward. Up the riverbank to the east, you make out a small tributary joining the river from the swamp. Oh. Tributary. The water flowing out of the swamp is murky brown and smells of rot. The stench causes you to wrinkle your nose. Okay, I don't think we have any reason to be here right now. Hold on. I'm gonna check. Did any boxes get ticked? No silver keyhole. I don't think there's anything about foe splitter here. Hilarious item. We don't need to jump 32 feet vertically. Yeah, we don't need stone tablets leading the way. No entrance without business. Jowls rippling and fangs bared. You can call me Molly. I don't think I need this anymore. I think I'm supposed to get rid of this, actually. I'm just going to banish it because I don't think we need it anymore. We don't need became sick with lured lung. Yeah, I don't think I have anything about this place yet. Possibly never. Who knows? Okay, yeah, I don't really want to cut my way through to nowhere, so. Forest path it is. We're going up to the Eagle's Nest. Or, sorry, Eagle Crest. It's difficult to find your way. I just lose another token. But now we go into Big 73. Right, I did go to the Daggerfrost, right? Pretty sure. Although I never found Fayberries, so maybe I didn't do the Daggerfrost. Well, we can go back to it. Big 73. The Great Tree. Rising out of the forest is a single gargantuan tree, crowning like a castle above the canopy. As you draw closer, you see pine cones the size of horses littering the ground. Following the path, you soon find yourself standing at the base of this mighty tree. Those are big pine cones. Okay. And I see POI 99 that we're going to go investigate. Like that. Base of the tree. The entire area is dominated by the presence of an enormous tree. There's a small path leading eastward to a stump. Stump. No, I knocked some cubes off. My sleeve caught something. Oh yeah, there we go. Exactly like my kids do. Anywho, there are several massive pine cones lying here at the base of the tree. How did I catch them so thoroughly? Tree? Gazing up at the enormous branches, you notice the birds wheeling and calling high above. Hidden behind an enormous pine cone, there's a large carving at the base of the tree trunk. Okay, let's hold off on investigating the carving for now. Stump? You follow the path to the stump. You inspect it for anything strange, but there's nothing out of the ordinary here. You're stumped. Ayy. Pine cones? The pine cones here are massive, as big as a cow. You think you'd be in danger if one fell on you. Okay, let's go investigate this carving. Walking around the pine cone, you see the carving is actually a set of doors cunningly crafted into the bark of the tree. Draw medium 49. Okay. Medium 49. Great Hollow. You push the double doors and they swing in easily. Based on the decay and shrubbery growing here, you imagine this hollow must have been abandoned long ago. Carved out of the living wood is a staircase leading upward. This is very cool. Okay, so the doors are here, as we expected. I need to go to Big 55 up this staircase, which means I just get rid of this tile because it's too big. Big 55. High in the tree. You are high above the forest canopy. You feel the rush of wind on your face as the branches slowly sway under your feet. Draw a card, event 136. Okay. And then flip this. 136, you say. Swaying branches. Keep this card face up in the play area. As you climb around the giant tree, the limbs sway beneath you, almost as if the tree itself were trying to shake you loose. This agitation seems to be stemming from the southwest branches. While in combat, all exiles receive -1 move speed. If you leave this location, index this card. Do not flip this card unless instructed. I have a feeling we're about to enter combat. I get the feeling. Alright, let's flip this. Oh, no combat yet, but, okay. And then I guess I'll put this here for now. Wait, no, I shouldn't do that, because then I could see what's on the other side. Okay, we'll just put this next to there. There we go. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, so there are 3 exits off of this. No, well, technically 3. 2 unexplored exits off of this tile, and also a point of interest. Let's go to the point of interest first. 103. Thick vines. You're on the massive tree branch. Vines coil around and wrap the tree here. Something white is caught in the vines, and a strong stench lingers in the area. Investigate the vines. The vines here are thick, almost like a thicket of brambles. You don't think you could pass by unless you were to cut the vines. What's the white thing? Upon closer inspection, you see that, oddly, there are some large animal bones tangled in the vines, bleached white in the sun. That does not sound promising for going this direction, okay. And what's the stench? Being this close to the vines, you smell the stench in the air like something died. It's coming from the white objects wrapped in the vines. You don't say. I don't think I should go through the vines. I'm not going to, quote, cut the vines. We might come back to it. But that feels like a trap. Have you ever felt like something is just a mega trap? Okay, let's go to medium 50. Medium 50. Tangled vines. The vines whip around and you're yanked next to a misshapen beast at the end of the branch. If you do this due to the cut the vines action, I did not. On POI 103, place the exile that cut the vines on Z. Otherwise, place the exile closest to foe 153 on Z. Note, this map is placed on the northwest side of the Big 55 map, not next to POI 103. Yeah, that makes sense. Good news, everyone. There's an enemy here. And I need to zoom out, like way out. Okay. very large space. Okay. I might have some stuff going off the screen a little bit. I'm just going to have to deal with it because I don't have enough space. We are now in combat. And I'm pretty sure Zertle is the closest, so he gets pulled in. Okay, and it's foe 153. Sounds bad. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my threat deck. I guess I get to put these kobolds away. I was really thinking there would be a follow-up fight, but there was not. Alright, foe 153 had better not be like a giant spectral Leon thing that kills us. I already did that fight. 153 is, in fact, a vine rodentia. That is. That is a vine joke. Uh, figure 5 is what I need. Because it's just a big rat. All the way back to figure 5. Dang. I think that was one of the first encounters we ever had was against figure 5, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So you are here. It's not just a rat, though. I'm going to go ahead and show off. It's a vine rat. An odd mix of rodent and flora, this beast has vines sprouting from within it. With the crack of a whip, a vine lashes out in your direction. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Alright, it doesn't move, it just captures stuff. When an exile tries to move out of an adjacent square, check Strength 15. If you fail, do not leave the square and lose all remaining move points instead. Vine Whip. Make 4 attacks, 2 damage each, distribute them as evenly as possible among adjacent exiles, if none ensnare. Ensnare, the closest exile checks Dexterity 18. On a fail, place that exile adjacent to this foe. Okay, this thing sucks. But I'm at you say. You say that about every enemy you fight nowadays. I can't help it if it's true. No, it's... My biggest concern is Rix's ability to still do ranged attacks. Because I don't know how long it's gonna last, you know? But maybe everything will be fine. All right, I need to turn this on. There we go. Yes, that helps you see the card a little bit better. Boom. Okay, everybody, we need to do combat. We have an enemy turn. Zertle on deck. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait, can I get this on screen? Yes, I can get this on screen. Over here. As I have a couple times. Okay. Vine Rodentia activates with 0 threats. So because there is 1 adjacent exile, it does a gray die attack against Zertle, base 2, 4 times. Good grief. Okay. Good luck, Zertle. That's right arm, so it is defended. And then out of durability, attack number 2. Body. He has no defense on his body right now. Yeah, that sucks. So he just takes 2. Attack number 3. Body. Takes 2 more. Going to 8. Body again. 2 more. Going to 6. Well, that was rough. Okay, alright. Ouch. I'm gonna go with ouch. Yeah. Yeah. So here's what Zertle's gonna do. Is it worth doing? I was gonna say, I'm going to use my Pillar of Dawn. Actually, yeah, that's 100% worth doing. So I'm gonna use my minor action to Pillar of Dawn. I place this here. And those are obscured borders. Uh-oh. Shooting this thing at range is going to be extremely difficult. Good to know. Yeah. Pillar of Dawn. So I put a cube there. I immediately do 1 targeted armor-piercing attack against this enemy. I don't know how much I care about where I attack. Probably this one. Yeah, let's just do that one. Why not? What does it do on weak point? Oh, just +1 threat. Oh, that's nothing. There we go. Yeah, so I just do 1 damage. Exiles gain +1 armor while adjacent to it, just on all attacks. So this is gonna reduce incoming damage substantially, I think. Trying to think, do I try to heal or do I just try to like out DPS this thing? I probably just try to out DPS it. We have no combo. I could use my character ability to just gain 2, which would make Smash very strong. Very strong. But I don't think I need to. I'm just gonna use my staff. Get a 17, which is 2 hits. I think I'm just gonna go armor pierce this, and then take off that armor. And then I'm going to staff attack again. Yeah. And hope for a better roll. There we go. I'm going to continue into the same column. So I'm going to start here. Then go right, down, and left. And we went through a critical point here, so we get to go boom. We also hit a weak point, so they gain 1 threat. Yeah. And Zertle's out of actions. Very cool and good. Alright. Enemy turn. Oh, sorry, that was Zertle's turn. I did not switch views. Whoops. Enemy turn, Rick's on deck. Brute or 3? Oh, 3? Gross. Well, they gain 3 because there are no brutes. The Vine Rodentia is both a mob and a boss enemy, but not a brute. I guess you would have had to be closer to the point. Yeah, I can't shoot it from here. It's going to take a long time to get in, but I guess that gives me time to just generate combo. I'm going to... A foe that I can see. I think I can see, I just can't target, right? Yeah. I'm going to mark. I'm going to basic move, gain 1 combo. Go 1, 2, because we get -1 move speed. I'm going to use my Ring of Farsight to ignore obstacles. Sorry, ignore obscure and have infinite range for one bow attack, which I will make now. I don't even know what I'm hoping for. Zertle's basically got this. That is an 18, so 2 hits. Yeah. Why don't we? I could just armor pierce this, I guess, or go down this column, but not armor pierce this. Why not? That and that. Okay. And then the final thing I do is just another basic move. 1, 2. Gain another combo. Well, fine, I guess. What does the enemy do? Enemy turn, Zertle on deck. Boss. Okay, so it does spends 3. Pretty typical. Ensnare and then Vine Whip +1. Yikes. The closest exile checks Dexterity 18. Well, that's Zertle. There's really nothing I need to check on that one. Okay, Dexterity 18. Hey, he's got a +8, so that's a 22. He succeeds. Not that it matters. Then we do Vine Whip +1 4 times. Maybe I should have had him move, or try to move. That's 2 damage even with the Pillar of Dawn shield. Number 2. That's 2 damage. I am doing entirely body shots. I need to roll this die a little bit more. That's a headshot. That's also off camera. Sorry. Headshot. No damage. The head armor is used up. Evidently coming into this zone without body armor was a huge mistake. Now we know. Yeah. Okay. And then one final attack is left arm. Okay. Durability lost there, but no damage gets through. Could be worse. Could be worse. It is now Zertle's turn. Does Zertle try to run away, or does Zertle just punchy? I have a feeling Zertle just punchies. Yeah. I'm fairly confident that's what he does. You can always try to leave if things go poorly. So let's staff attack. That is a 20. A dirty 20, but a 20 nonetheless. Which is all I really cared about for the first hit. So we armor pierce there. Go right. We also go left, which gets us up to this one. Do I think... Yeah, no, and then we just staff attack again. I don't need to activate mark. All right, I got at least 1 hit. That's all I cared about. Boom. Enemy down. Okay. The Pillar of Dawn saved Zertle's life, but I was kind of hoping it'd be more. Enemy defeated. What happens on defeat? 6 experience. That's a lot of experience. How do I represent that? I turn a 5 into a 10 and then add 1. That works for me. Boom. So now they're at 41 out of 50 to hit that 10th level, which is the maximum. Special, draw long 40. Okay. I do hope combat is over. Vines fall. As the Rodentia dies, the vines around the large eastern branch fall and untangle like some sort of unraveling garment. The path along the branch curves off into the distance. Okay. Path along the eastern branch, which is this one. So it'll go like that. Well. Wait, what? Oh, that's the problem. It's big 56. Oh, no, it goes like that. Oh, that is too much space for me to cover. Okay. We are out of combat. Gotta do a little bit of cleanup, I guess. The point of interest is covered up, so we can no longer interact with it, which is fine. Didn't really want to anyways. Goodbye, giant rat. Before we move on, we need to do some healing and things. So I'm going to use my Ring of Rest on Zertle to refresh Pillar of Dawn. So I have another go at it. I'm going to try to heal myself using my good medical kit, which is a wisdom check. That is a 19, which is annoying. You know what? I'm going to make room for another RP point. I'm going to spend an RP point to make that a 22 instead of a 19. So I get +6 instead of +4. I go to 8. And then I spend my other medkit charge to roll again. That's again a 19, so I get 4, and this time I'll just live with it. And then I will spend 1 mana to refresh my medkits. Well, 1 medkit. And now we have room to get an RP point again. So it's not just all going to waste, which has been kind of common, frankly. We had a desert, an RP point desert. And now we're getting tons. And Zertle noticed that precisely 1 arrow came out to attack this thing. Is like, where were you, Rix? This is me demonstrating that the trust is breaking down. Okay, for ease of space, I'm going to go this direction first to medium 51, which might be a trap. Broken limb. The tree branch here appears to have been broken recently. Event 136 applies to this area. Okay, so that's the reduced movement. I'm going to just get this out of the way. Point of interest 101. Damaged branch. You're standing on a thick tree branch. You hear the tree making loud groans as it sways below your feet. The branch here ends, broken. I don't like the sound of the groans. The branch groans. You notice it seems to be doing it in time with the swaying, as if the tree were writhing in pain. Okay. Okay. Take a look at the branch. This is Rick's doing an investigation on the branch as our ranger. The break in the limb looks fresh, and as you inspect closer, you notice sap. Touching it makes the tree groan as if it were in pain. You wonder if you might be able to heal this wound. Zertle gains an RP point. Thank you. Heal. You attempt to heal the tree. Spend abilities or items to heal 2 health for the tree. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Zertle uses one of his old medkit charges to try and heal. This is still wisdom. Okay, that is a 20. It heals for 5. Success. You are able to heal the tree branch. Flip event 136 and place on medium 51. And look at that. The giant tree seems to relax. The swaying branches still, and the tension that was filling the air disappears. You feel refreshed, and a strength surges in your step. When you place this, each exile refills speed to full. Do 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 do. Yatta. Okay. I was expecting like a. Oh, there is no more point of interest 101. Okay, that's why you don't need to banish it. Cool. Cool, cool. We did it. And everyone goes to full speed again. Full speed ahead. Very nice. And now we go along this long route. So I'm going to take these out of play to save some room. And I guess get this way over there and get this right here and hope that I have enough space. Okay. Well, there's an event. Oh, yes, technically I was supposed to go do this event before I went over that other tile, but whatever. 521. That's a high numbered event. Dang. Giant pine cone. You see a giant pine cone hanging from the branches of the tree. Looking through the gaps of the cone, you can make out a pine nut as big as your hand. You think you could get it out, though it might take a while. The event token stays on the space until you collect the giant pine nut. Right, so there's supposed to be a token here. Collect. During combat, you must spend 2 normal actions and 1 minor action to take this action. Okay, so we have to wait until combat. Interesting. Okay. Wait. How how do I keep Okay. So then we have to go do this, but you're not supposed to explore new stuff until you've finished all the events. I think there's a weird exception to the rule. I guess we're just rolling with it. Big 56. Mighty limbs. The branch splits off into 3 mighty limbs, each bigger around than most trees in the forest. Huge pine cones bob and sway in the breeze here. There's a large nest on the easternmost branch. Flip this map and set up as normal. Draw foe 155 and place the miniature, but do not begin combat. Instead, draw event 281. Okay. Event 281. I'll get that out now and then set up the tile. Oh, there's an owlet here. Okay. Okay, I actually have enough space. Look at that. Look at that. So we need foe 155. Okay. This is a weird setup, I'll be honest. The Sapphire Owlet, which uses figure 111. I remember this thing. Well, I remember the owlet. I don't know if it was this one or not. There you are. This is a magical owl. It goes, woo, 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 woo. Okay. And then I guess I'll get out some tokens. For event 521. All right. There we go. The iridescent hues of purple and blue shimmer as the owlet preens its feathers. Its gaze pierces you with a sense of wisdom and power. Okay. I don't... I'll love with you, I don't know how to set up this combat to make any sort of sense with my space. My space. But we're not actually in combat yet. Sorry for bumping the microphone. I said this earlier, I think my cable's caught on something, so it's not... It's more in the way than it's supposed to be. Oh well, such is life. Oh boy. Yikes. Suddenly you hear a voice calling to you from the nearby branches. This is the Sapphire Owlet. It's an owlet. The demeanor is smug and his actions are preen feathers. Welcome to my home. I see you are hunting pine nuts, as my old friend Beedrick used to do. However, unlike Beedrick, your manners are lacking, and you have not asked permission. Come now, play a game of riddles with me, and you may win the pine nuts. Or, if you prefer, we may battle over them instead. What will it be? Do we want riddles or battle? I think we're pretty good at riddles. We have intelligence and wisdom between the two of us. Yeah, I think we're fine. Riddles. Although we're also very good at combat. But it is level 9. That is quite the hit grid. Riddles. Very good. Come here. For each pine nut, I shall ask you a riddle. Answer correctly, and the nut is yours. Incorrectly, and I shall eat it myself. Okay. So, place party on L. and then draw event 303, and then index this card. Okay. Game of Riddles. Riddle. Place Elwich next to the closest event token and remove it. Can do. Read the first riddle you haven't read yet and state the answer. What? Oh. And state answer. Flip and check answered number. If there are no more event tokens, draw event 130. Okay. I'm confused about what I'm supposed to do here. Riddle 1. Rising up from below, we march to our doom. An endless procession, we die with a crash. Waves? I want to say waves. Because I don't... So yeah, crashing waves. They die with a crash. That's great. March to our doom. I don't know what that means. But, like, waves rise up from below. I think it's waves. Answer 6. Oh, wait. Yeah, read the first riddle you haven't read yet. Okay. Waves is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Just to prove. Oh, I should not look at most of these, but you can see waves right there on answer 6. There you go. All right. Did you answer that word or a synonym of it? Yes. The owl which gives you the pine nut. Gain 1 giant pine nut, key item 99, and then go to riddle. Okay. You know what? Worst case scenario, we got 1. We got 1. Giant pine nut. A massive pine nut you found growing on an incredibly large tree. You wonder if there are more of them nearby. You may collect multiple pine nuts. Place an armor cube on one of the spaces below each time you collect one. Okay. So up next. Most bow before me, and some even kneel, though when I am empty, no respect do I feel. Answer 32. Most bow before me, and some even kneel, though when I am empty, no respect do I feel. The wind? Or a storm of some sort? Some even kneel. I don't understand what that means in like the wind context. Most bow before me, and some even kneel. Like, that sounds like the wind. Though when I am empty, no respect do I feel. Oh, wait, hold on. A throne? A throne. Yes, you'd bow before a throne or even kneel before a throne. But when the throne is empty, nobody cares. Answer 32, a throne. That's what I'm going with. Throne. Oh man, I'm a genius here. It's just a, right there. 32, throne. That is an additional armor cube, and I'm really trying not to look at any other answers so I'm not spoiling myself. Oh wait, that was that. Okay. Uh, riddle number 3. How do I get the last giant pine nut? Maybe I can't unless I fight it. Maybe I needed to fight it to actually get all of them. Interesting. Slither and slide, I wrap and I hold. From beginning to end, you trust me like a friend. Slither and slide, I wrap and I hold. From beginning to end, you trust me like a friend. Rope? I have to go with rope. Yeah. Yeah, I have to go with rope. Answer 21 is rope. Ding, 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 ding. Let's throw that on camera. Very cool. That one was a lot easier than the throne one. Okay. And the final token that he actually will go towards. I can save your life, but if you keep me around, I'll keep you from living. What if he goes to that one? I'm confused. What if there are no more riddles? Again, I'm confused. I can save your life, but if you keep me around, I'll keep you from living. The foolish don't heed me. I send armies to flee. What? I can save your life, but if you keep me around, I'll keep you from living. The foolish don't heed me. I send armies to flee. Fear? Yes. I can save your life. Fear can save your life, but if you keep it around, you won't be actually living life. Got it. The foolish don't heed me. Fear. I send armies to flee. Fear. Possibly something like cowardice. I would accept this as close enough. Fear. Answer 45. Got it in one. Turns out I'm good at good riddles. The owl which gives you the pine nut to gain one. Okay, and we get the armor cube again. Uh, yeah, and then there's no more question, but there is another event token, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that one, because there's a giant pine cone that I could collect a pine nut out of. Let's go to event 130 and see if that helps. Any exile at 0 health heals 1. Cool. The owlet looks over at you, preening its feathers. It blinks a few times before speaking. Well, I admit I quite enjoyed that. It gets rather lonely up here, and a nice battle of wits or brawn is exactly what I crave. Now, for playing with me, I'll show you a little secret that should make you happy. Meet me down on the ground at the base of the great tree. You make your way down the stairs and find the owlet perched on the stump near the great tree. He taps his beak on the stump in a few different spots, muttering something quietly. Suddenly, an opening appears below the stump, leading underground. Thanks again for the contest. I hope whatever the elves left in here is of use to you. May the wind be under your wings. Farewell. Hello, C3PO23 MTG. Covering a couple bases there, aren't you? You got Robot from Star Wars, and you got, I assume, Magic the Gathering, and not a different acronym. Okay. So I guess we're done with the game of riddles? I feel like some stuff was missing from this. I don't know. Just some bits of rule stuff that just never really got explained. But it's okay. I enjoyed the fact that I got to do riddles instead of combat. Not everything needs to be a combat, you know? You know? So let's go down south. And by that I mean get to the bottom of the tree. We don't have to fight the owlitch. This gets banished. So I think that's over and done with. We just can't get 5. So the only way to get 5 is by fighting the owlitch. That's kind of weak. Kind of weak game. Now, if only I could pick this thing up. I recently trimmed my nails, and so now everything is difficult to interact with. So we go to the base of the tree. There is a inside of the tree. We don't care about it right now, though. We have our 4 giant pine nuts. Let's hope that's a lot of money. And we place long 39. The owl's just revealed a secret chamber to us. And I hope we get a path item in here, because I've been enjoying new gear. New gear, who dis? Under the stump. Under the stump. Climbing through a hole in the stump of a tree, you find yourself in a large tunnel. Your nostrils twitch at the slightly acrid scent of animal musk. You don't see anything alive down here except the large roots of the nearby trees. Flip and place on Big 73. Yes, that is the goal. Place where on Big 73? I think it's like this. Hiya. Wait, no. Like this. Haha, look at that. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. And we are not in combat. So we go down the tunnel, and we loot this iron tier path chest. We also gain 6 experience and banish this battle concluded card. 6 experience each is substantial. Okay. So here's what I need to do. I think if I turn 3 10s into a 25 and a 5, then I can turn the 5 plus the 6 into a 10 plus a 1. Okay. We got there. We got there. We got there. It's token math, which is not the same as just regular math. You know? It's the tokens have set values and you have to figure out what combination of tokens makes the new value you're shooting for. I should probably do the smart thing and say what my new value is and then backtrack from there into what tokens do I need to represent that, but that's not how I do it. So I guess I do the dumb thing. Hey. It gets done either way. For Ricks, I'm once again going to ignore the double. No, I'm going to grab the double tile. I want an iron tier quiver so bad. I want it. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So, as expected, it's just like the quiver of stained arrows, which I'll throw up on the screen here, except that the origin shot is armor piercing, which is the kind of the iron tier weapon quality is all the origin shots are armor piercing. It's also plus 3 range, which also tracks. So that is just a strict upgrade over my old and busted quiver. I'll get to sell that for a pittance. But hey, new gear is good gear. Next up, Zertles. Iron gear And he is our cleric, and I don't think he has any double tiles left in here. My big pull that I'm looking for is the new focus, the Iron Tier focus. We'll see if I can grab it. Instead, I got the right shoulder, the correct shoulder. And by the way, if you have any questions about what's going on, feel free to ask. I am here, ready to answer. If you just want to chill, that's great too. That's also gravy. I need to update Zertle's armor grid. Give me one moment. Ooh, not quite. Yeah, it's close. So he gets the plus on his right shoulder is because he gets +1 defense against AoE attacks. That's actually true on both of his shoulders now, which is great. I love bonus defense. The problem is my armor is usually out of durability, so bonus defense does nothing. We now have our giant pine nuts, and we have, what, 47 experience? Oh, we're off by 3? I want to explore a little bit more. I want to get the 3 experience we need to get to level 50. So, before we return to town, let's go up and try to get to the Lemons camp. Which means I need my travel deck. And I need my travel tokens. Most of which are exhausted. Hooray! Sounds good to me. We're going on a forest path. You are so hungry you need to take a break and eat some food. Ha ha ha. I'll just exhaust that token. I have nothing left to explore, so I don't need the tokens. And we explore this location, which is Big 54. Oh, friendo left. That's okay. Lemons Camp. A small campsite is here. Elvish guards watch the road while travelers check wagons and packs, preparing to continue their journeys. The gurgle of the nearby waterfall draws your attention as it splashes down the rock and runs below the bridge into a quiet pond. There's a waterfall here, you say? Hold on. 2 things need to happen. We need to add travel 61 to the bottom of the travel discard pile. Can Doosville. Okay. Lumbering carts. I'll try to remember that. I might do the whole spyglass to shuffle it in at the last second thing. And then add job 41 to the job deck, which is great because we needed a new job. A new side job. New side job, who dis? Hunting Lodge. Cool. That is now the second time I've made the who dis joke. So, keep an eye on me. Hold me accountable. Alright, let's flip this. Looks like we have a point of interest. We have a NPC to talk to, and we have a tile we can explore. Let's go do the NPC first. NPC 146. Nadriel the Road Guard. Elven woman, she is withdrawn. She makes slow gestures, and she's unblinking. That's disconcerting. An elf is here, hand on the hilt of an unadorned longsword. She takes your measure at a glance. Base of the forest be with you. From your pin I see you're in exile. You should be aware that I cannot allow you passage north. However, I do have a squill available for claiming if you think yourself capable of the job. Oh, we're capable. What's north of here? As I'm sure you're aware, the guild is only allowed to operate in the basin this year. The forest north of here is outside the boundaries for exiles. This year, you say? In future years, maybe. Is this like not second edition, but is there going to be like an expansion that does a different region? That'd be pretty cool. Or just Arydia 2, you know, Electric Boogaloo. Okay, what's the squill? What's the job? We're here for squills. We're very capable. What's the job? There's an old Erie west of here. It was used for travel from the North Forest to the basin. Old Erie. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the world map for a second. Oh, like West Rock Erie? That's very far away. Okay. We want it back, but something is living there. If you were to scare it off, I will give you my squill. I should forewarn you, in order to gain entrance to the Erie, you'll need someone who speaks Elvish. Elvish, you say? Yes, if you wish to enter the Erie and remove the threat, you'll need someone who speaks Elvish. Is an elf in the party? No. You may be able to find a translator at Eastgate. I cannot leave my post. Yeah, okay. Well, now we know where we need Elvish. Over in the Erie. Which makes sense. That's pretty close to where that signpost was. Okay. KY 98. I like this small waterfall because we are looking for a small waterfall. Can I get back behind it to find a stone tablet? Quiet campsite. A small waterfall splashes down from the heights above. Nearby, a guard patrols the northern road. To the west, a few travelers are milling about the small campsite. Let's look at the guard first, because we already talked to her. Elves, by the look of them. At first, you thought there was only one, but you can identify others watching from the shadows of the trees. As you look on, one of the hidden elves rides off north on some large beast, which almost seems to take flight as it disappears out of sight. Interesting. Are they riding the, like, panther bat things? Whatever those were called? Hold on, I have it in my journal. Never mind, I removed it from my journal. Whoops. Oh, the Kiro, something like that. Anyways, let's look at the travelers first. The travelers appear to be mostly merchants on their way to other destinations. You guess this because none of them are trying to peddle their wares here. They simply seem to be resting and preparing to move on to further regions. And then the waterfall. A refreshing waterfall is here, used by many travelers for baths and washing supplies before heading back on the road. There doesn't appear to be any way to scale this cliff unless you could, I don't know, jump 32 feet vertically. Funny you should use that exact metric. I bought this potion so long ago. Vertical leap potion. Jump 32 feet vertically. This potion says it contains enough energy to make the drinker jump over 30 feet vertically. Well, guess what? 32 feet is over 30 feet. Draw event 84. I am so in. The cliff. Standing before the small cliff and waterfall, you quaff this tiny potion. Instantly, you let out a croak. Your legs buckle and spring with incredible force, flinging you high into the air, landing gracefully atop the cliff top above. Flip and place party on this card. Oh, I feel good. Na, 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 na. Knew that I would now. I feel good. It's got this little arrow, like, oh yeah, so that's where Big 54 should be. We have a point of interest, and we have path 3. Well, I guess we just get to go ahead and get more path items. Oh man, this is sick. Okay. Now it doesn't matter what I grab for either of them. We're exhausting these chests at an alarming rate. It's fantastic. Interesting. Okay. So I have a right arm for Rix that is better than what she has now, but the problem is that would leave her without a right hand glove. So I kind of just have to hold off on this for a minute. Or just have no defense on the right hand, which I guess is an option, just not a good one. Up next is Zertle. Once again, really trying to find my focus. I did not. Instead, I found White Bracer, which is right arm item, which is great, because now I can swap out my old and busted one. And what I'm seeing here... Hold on a second. What is this? Oh, that's right. Get 2 pauldrons in there. What all have I been replacing? Okay. Anyways, yeah, replaces my old and busted, like, literally broken, in need of desperate repair right arm with the same stats, only slightly better, actually, and fully repaired. Okay. This is working out very well for us, to be honest. Point of interest, 97. Let's do the puzzle. I have always been a fan of these puzzles. Let's see what's going on. Merchant statue. Before you is a statue of a traveling merchant. He's sitting on his cart piled high with wares. The water wheel in the nearby stream is attached to the statue, causing the cart's wheels to slowly turn. Oh, that's cute. Looking closely, you see runes cunningly etched in the stone base of the statue. Runes. Okay, so we get this card, and it's got stuff on it. And what we need to do is take this, which they said at the start was a decorative piece. It is not a decorative piece. They lied to you. And we need to figure out how this functions. I am confused. How do I do this? Hold on. So I can see how we start. And I can see that there are, like, black squares on here, and there are black squares on here, so that maybe that's related to each other. And there's this hard to see. Here, I'll put it on this one. There's a circle with a little triangle taken out of it, and there's one here as well. Little triangle taken out. So my assumption is I start here. And then do a little half turn, maybe? I don't understand. What am I looking for? My goal is to figure out which things or which letters to use to solve this puzzle. But I am like completely, I don't even know where to start on this one. This has been a tricky one. Unless, am I supposed to go like that? Like start there and then, maybe. Maybe the black dots are complete misdirect. I don't think so, though. Huh. And this is, I'm sure, great TV. It's me just trying to figure this out. What if I change my camera a little bit and just go? That's far over as I can go. That's lame. So dumb. Huh. So things I'm looking at. I see. Should I go that direction or should I go that direction? I don't know. No, I can't do that so far away from where my eyes are. I'm sorry. I want to show you the puzzle, but I don't. I need a place to start to actually show off what I'm doing. And then I need to go to bed. It is late. Normally, it's something related to the statue you're at, and this is the merchant statue, so that might help. That might give us a clue if we're on the right track, you know? Hmm. So start at that line, and I think I just go like one tick that way, or do I go more than one tick? Do I just keep rotating? I don't understand. That's my problem right now is I assume I start in that position with the triangle down, and this is telling me to rotate. But what does that mean? You know? Like, how far do I rotate? I hope I'm not losing my one viewer here just because this puzzle is beating me. Is the backside any clearer? No, it really isn't. Like, I see these squares that are marked in. My assumption is I want to match those squares somehow. Maybe it's easier than that? Am I just trying to find if I place... No, why would that be the case? Why would they tell me where to put the triangle if it's just match up the sun? That doesn't make any sense. Nope, I reject that one. That's a bad clue for me. I still think I put it on the line. Is it saying I need to go like this? I mean, that got us to the end and just barely hit the stopping point. So that's a good question. Is that a hint? That does appear to be consistent. Maybe I'm just turning it in the same way every time, but it does feel like I'm turning it at the correct rate, and this edge is hitting the end of the line, basically. So maybe that's a clue that I'm doing things correctly, in which case, no, see, now I've lost it. Now I'm not tracking properly. It could mean that E isn't there, because I see a white box. Maybe L is, and maybe R is, but no F? No, that doesn't sound right. This puzzle is beating me. Um, what else can I do? I think I'm on a correct track. I just translating the output is the problem. Maybe I'm not supposed to worry about these squares inside. Maybe those are a misdirect right now, and I should just focus on like R. I don't feel like turning it consistently is probably a mistake. Because most people I don't think are gonna be able to do that. Unless it's like, do this, you know, R. I'm gonna play with this for a second. See where it takes me. O. Hold on. Hold on. Did I crack it by happenstance? Is this an A? This is gonna be an A. The words are gonna be road. A. Oh my gosh. So I'm hoping this is a D. Okay. If that's the actual solution, that was one of the most fun ones yet. Roll it on the page. That's very cute. That is very cute if that's the solution. And it makes sense because this is the merchant statue. It makes sense that the solution would be road. If you think you have solved the puzzle, draw event 604. I'm going for it. I think it's road. That's a very cute solution. If that is the real solution, that I adore that. 604. Ah, did your answer begin with the letter R? Yes, indeed it did. You touched the first rune. Flip this card over. Was your answer road? Heck yes, it was. that, that makes me feel very happy. That was fun. I like that a lot. Using a squill, you complete the sequence of runes, smiling at your own cleverness. I really am smiling at my own cleverness. That was fantastic. I love that. Go to door. The runes glow brightly for a moment. Road. A door in the base of the statue grinds open and reveals a small stone tablet. Banish the vertical leap potion. I guess we don't need it anymore. But gain key item 151 and then banish this card. Key item 151, the merchant's tablets. You found this stone tablet in the base of the merchant statue at Limon's camp. It has runes etched into it. Keep this until you find a card with the exact text. The stone tablets lead the way, then draw event 132. Yeah, I don't want to do that yet. But I shall keep that in my back pocket. Very fun and good. Okay. Oh, I love the. Okay. I love how many things they've managed to pack onto this squill, how many puzzles they can solve with this one little game piece. Look at this. It's just this one little game piece. They're like they introduce it in the rulebook as, oh, it's just a little decorative thing that's gonna help you get into the world so you know what squills, these things right here. So you know what those feel like. It's just something to feel. It's a tactile thing, which I'm all for. They were lying. This is our fourth tablet. Yep, this is tablet number 4, which I am psyched about. Tablet hype. I'm going to mark in my journal that the small waterfall tablet has been gained. We still need the icy stream and the large waterfall. Icy stream might be the dagger frost. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So looking at the world map, that looks like it might be an icy stream, but it could also be further north up here. And that definitely looks like the big waterfall. I don't know what to... I assume it's down here, but maybe it's up there. And then you get all the stone tablets, right? Okay, let's go back down and go to small 49, which is the last thing we're going to do tonight. That was incredible. I love this game. Oh, I love how we had like one minor combat encounter, and then we had an encounter that was just riddles, and then we had a cool puzzle. This is great. Busy campsite. Coming around the corner, you peer into the bustling campsite. Travelers and merchants are busy going through their packs, repairing wagons, and cooking over a large campfire. Very cool. There is an NPC here. 147. Gav Punst, a dwarf woman. Her demeanor is annoyed, her actions are tapping fingers, her quirk is an eye twitch. A dwarf woman is here, checking supplies, arranging packs on her cart, muttering to herself. Where are those mud-headed limp fish? They should have been back by... I'm sorry. This isn't some show. I should have been on my way to Clipton by now, but I'm waiting on my partners. Clipton? We've been there. Yeah, it's where I'm headed next. Good place for barter and trade. But I'm waiting on a shipment from my partners. They should have met me here. Who are your partners? Well, if you must know, my partners were supposed to meet me here with this shipment of truffles, but they're late. More late than usual, that is. Well, you want to help? Fine. If you want to track them down, their names are Sken and Beck. They live in the Veldune tundra northwest of here. Okay. Bring them or their shipment, and you can have my thanks and my squill. Very cool. Okay. I'm going to write that down in my journal. Okay. I also noted the whole you need to learn Elvish for the West Rock Erie. At least I assume that's the Erie they're talking about. Maybe it's somewhere else. Who knows, man? Who knows? It's the only Erie that I know of. Okay. That's all we need to do here. I'm still kind of riding that high, you know? Riding that puzzle high. Love the stuff. We need to go repair our gear since we do have 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. I'm comfortable spending a K to repair 8 damage when it's out of 9. I don't think I'm going to be able to go to a battle and take precisely 1 damage. I just don't think it's going to happen. There's also something to be said for um dang it. Okay. Turns out my sleeve is just massive right now. Don't know why. And is just catching every time I reach over here, it just it's pulling stuff down. So I need to be done because I need to clean up. It's a mess. Yeah, I have just cubes flying around because they're getting in the way. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna go back to town next session. This town. There's something to be said for buying back an old glove for Rick's, so I can wear that really cool armor and also just have a good glove. But that's something I will decide next time. It does not cost nothing to buy stuff back. Right, it costs twice their value to buy it back, so that's less than ideal, to be honest. Less than ideal. Oh well. Yeah. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, feel free to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the following US and Canada Pacific times. Mondays at 1 p.m. Modded Skyrim is what I play. Mondays at 10 p.m. Final Fantasy VII, the original PC port. That's been going great. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. more Modded Skyrim. Fridays at both 1 p.m. and 10 p.m. Arydia the Paths We Dare Tread, which is like a TTRPG in a box style of board game. It's what you just saw here right now. And it's fantastic. I don't know if that came across during tonight's session. The game rules. This game rules. It absolutely rocks. So, if you're looking for a good, definitely long form, like campaign style game that is like a tabletop RPG, I would look at this one. I'm not sponsored, open to it. It's just a really great game. So much fun. I love these puzzles too. Everything I do here on Twitch is recorded as a video on demand and then exported to my YouTube channel. There's a link in the Twitch channel description down below. If you are already watching on YouTube, then you will instead have a link to my Twitch channel in the video description down below. Either way, I really do appreciate everybody watching. I want to thank everyone who's commenting and chatting, liking, following, subscribing, all the bits. I really appreciate all of it, you guys. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that, and I will see you all next time.